A very good morning in case you're joining us now. Karibu Sana. This is Morning Express, and my apologies we didn't have a person of interest, but not to worry because now it's time for lifestyle. And today we are focusing on a subject that I think has a lot of interest, especially given that we have what we call lifestyle diseases on the increase. Obesity has actually become a major concern. And you know, previously, as I was growing up, I don't remember any of the smaller children, younger children, being obese per se, but that number has increased. Not only children, but adults also have a larger number. And of course, we know that obesity comes with a number of complications. So there's all sorts of ways of trying to make sure you maintain your weight and your correct weight for that matter, which is why the food industry and exercise industry has grown enormously. Why? Because we are conscious that we're supposed to maintain a certain amount of weight, a healthy lifestyle, let me call it. But many times you'll agree with me that it becomes very frustrating trying to lose weight and it just doesn't happen. You get all sorts of ways of trying to do it. You've had there's low fiber, low carbs, take meat only, red meat only, eat fruits before you eat your, there's all sorts going around and it becomes confusing. And you try this, try that, but when it doesn't work, trust me, it becomes very, very frustrating. However, there's different ways of doing it, and there is weight loss by surgery, which is, if you remember, we talked about it a while ago, but that was to do with cancer patients, and there was debate and there was also interest that was raised out of that. There's some of you that wanted to know a little bit more about that, which is why this morning that's what we're going to be talking about. And joining me in the studio is Ludmila Shukina. Great to have you in the studio. She is a medical doctor in East Africa Bariatric Clinic and Holistic Living Farm. That is a mouthful, which I've swallowed. But great to have you in the studio. Now, first of all, obesity, is it a matter of concern, specifically in Kenya, from your experience?
Obesity is a serious problem in Kenya. Like we can say 9 years ago, 10 years ago, we had only 9% of Kenyans which were obese and overweight, according to Kenya Demographic and Health Survey report. But now statistics is showing terrible result. Almost 55% of Kenyan population have obesity and extra weight. You can see how childhood obesity is growing. And the most serious thing, and maybe even terrifying thing, is that while obesity is growing, diabetes is growing. So obesity is leading to diabetes, because 10 years ago we had maybe 1% of urban population of Kenya suffering from diabetes. Now more than 12%. Hypertension, looks like hypertension became now very common problem in Kenya. 10 years ago there was nothing like this. Like 29% of urban population in Kenya suffering from high blood pressure. To take antihypertensive medication is becoming like to take vitamins.
Oh,
it's not normal.
Just a common cold.
It's not right. Why is it happening? Because people started putting on weight. Society is growing. Non-communicable diseases are growing. Now the main concern of even Ministry of Health, non-communicable diseases, even not communicable diseases. Now non-communicable diseases, this is the main concern of our Ministry of Health, and also main concern of WHO, and even all world now is recognizing that non-communicable, very high increase in non-communicable diseases due to obesity and overweight. Due to that population is growing, world population is growing.
Okay. We'll come to the actual surgery as we go along, but just a reminder for those of us at home, we're talking about obesity today, and one of the ways that possibly is an alternative to just dieting and going to the gym, which we'll be tackling, but we'll also be opening the phone lines. In case you have any questions, you'll be welcome to call. I'll let you know when we've done that, but maybe you could also let us know from your experience, what is the huge cause of this growth in obesity in the statistics?
obesity is known in the world for more than 2,500 years. 2,500 years ago, Hippocrates wrote that sudden death is more common in obese than in slim. 2,500 years ago. So it means that human population know this problem for many years. Only it happened that in America for last 50 years, obesity became recognized problem. In Kenya for the last 10 years, we can say. Anyway, Kenya is a young country. Everything is connected, obesity problem is connected to very many different causes. So I cannot say that this person has obesity problem because of his wrong food, or he is not doing exercises, or he went through the surgery, or people are bringing different causes
okay,
of
but generally
extra weight.
there must be something that has changed for there to be a drastic increase. Or is it just the numbers now are more recorded than before?
No, lifestyle changed. Lifestyle changed, that is definitely. Availability of food, economical situation improved, so people have more money to afford more food. And if we are talking about causes of obesity, here we have social factors which are manifested in the society. Here we have subconscious psychological factors like subconscious eating, food temptation, food addiction, overeating reaction on stress. You can see different factors are influencing on our eating habits. Here we have also metabolic processes. So when we are working in our clinic, we are working with more than 17 different factors: social, psychological, metabolic. By now, many more factors are described. So obesity is quite complicated problem. It is not just something simple to say, stop eating, you will lose weight. Many people tried to do it.
It's very frustrating, it doesn't work.
You are going through the dieting, you are managing to lose 5 kilos. After stopping dieting, you are adding 10. You are going for exercises, you are torturing yourself with enormous exercises. Maybe you are managing to lose 1 or 2 or 5 kilos, or maybe you are even putting on weight. But even if you are managing to lose weight with exercises, after stopping active action, you are gaining weight back. So because of other factors are not touched. You may work on metabolic factors, hormonal factors, psychological, social factors are not addressed. That is why people are not succeeding with those usual
weight loss
methods.
Regimes. Now there's those obviously who know they're overweight just by virtue of having a look, but that's not always an accurate way of knowing. And secondly, once you know you're overweight, you need to know by how much and what's the ideal weight. What's the procedure of, first of all, knowing that I am overweight? I may look okay, but maybe I am overweight.
Yeah, that's true. Most obese ladies, they don't think that they are obese. They think they have a normal weight. I may have a patient, recently I had one lady in the clinic. She's 100 kilos, and I asked her, do you think you are overweight or you are obese? She said, I think I'm a little bit overweight.
A little bit.
Which is already in class 3 obesity. So, yeah, you may know only if you will measure your parameter. Easiest way to check your weight, just to know your height. Like, what is your height?
I would approximate it to maybe 5'7", 5.
In centimeters? We need to know
I'd have to
height in centimeters. Let's suppose if person's height 170 centimeters, then you should be 70 kilos. Approximately there. 70, 72,
would you,
68.
from your experience, would you be able to tell my height just by looking at me? Just
no. That we need to measure. We need to measure.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. My height is 162. My weight should be 60. I'm 59.
Okay.
So that is good. If somebody's weight if somebody's height 157 centimeters, so your weight supposed to be around 57. If your height 180 centimeters, then your weight supposed to be around 80. So 180, 80. So 100 you are deducting, so 80. That's your.
But with the BMI, they normally measure your weight, your height.
This is now more complicated.
Okay. We're just using the
very many people already know how to calculate body mass index. And patient is supposed to check his weight and to divide it by his height in meters square. So if you weigh 90 kilos and your height 162 centimeters, so it means 1.6 you have to multiply 1.62. You have to multiply by 1.62, that will be your height in meters square, and then you take your weight in kilograms. You see, it's a little bit more complicated.
Right.
But it's really easy. Many people are counting it. But, and when we are selecting methods which are supposed to be used for treatment, we are really using body mass index. So it is easy. Your weight in kilograms divided by your height in meters square.
Okay.
So if your body mass index from 18 to 24, you are in normal. This is you have normal weight.
18 to 24.
18 to 24. Mine is 23. If your body mass index from 25 to 29, you are overweight. So it means person already started accumulating extra weight.
Excess weight, yeah.
Excess weight. If patient's body mass index from 30 to 34, this is class 1 obesity. So now we have to raise a serious alarm that person has obesity as a disease, BMI above 30. BMI 35, 39, class 2 obesity. This is important for me now to mention, because when we are talking about treatment, as a guideline, in a guideline we are using this body mass index. We are selecting which method is supposed to be used for different type of obesity.
Right.
If patient's BMI 40 and above, this is class 3 obesity. 45, super obesity.
Over 45 now is super obesity.
So then easy way also, and very, very informative way to assess your weight is to check your waist circumference. For the past few years, this is the most used in medical field assessment. So you are just simply taking tape measure, and you are measuring what is your waist circumference. If lady's waist circumference 80 centimeters and more, it means that she has central obesity, or it's called abdominal obesity. For the man, 80 centimeters.
Okay.
For the man, waist circumference should not be more than 94 centimeters. And I'm sure many of our viewers, if they will check their waist circumference, many ladies will discover that their waist circumference more than 80 centimeters. And quite a lot of gentlemen will discover that their waist circumference more than 94. So it means they started developing central obesity or visceral obesity.
Okay, so is that an accurate way of measuring your obesity, just your waist size?
Very much accurate.
But
that is the best.
That's the best.
Really.
What if somebody is taller than the other? Does then that have a role that it plays in terms of how heavy you should be?
Definitely. Definitely. That's what I said from the beginning. You are taking your weight, divided by your height. So now we see proportion. So that is what BMI will give us.
Okay.
And if your height 190 centimeter, which is not very common in Kenya, 190 centimeters, so it means your weight is supposed to be around 90. If your height, if you are, for example, 170 centimeters, your weight is supposed to be around 70. So there are different ways of checking.
Okay.
I'm just giving you the easiest.
Okay, now once you've established that you're obese, you've talked about the 3 classes Actually,
Yes.
4. You've talked about 1,
Overweight.
2, 3. Yes.
1, 2, 3.
And
yeah,
then
4.
there's super
And super
obesity.
obesity.
Once you've established where you are there different treatments for different kinds of obesity?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Which ones are they?
Different people need different approach in treatment of obesity. If patient has overweight, maybe he has 5, 7, 6 extra kilos, he can succeed quite nicely with medical weight loss. Even with diet, exercises, sometimes very difficult. So those people can go through medical weight loss. In medical weight loss, we are using psychotherapy, we are counting calories, and we supply body with all necessary ingredients. We are making sure that person is supplying his body with all natural ingredients in the natural way. So medical weight loss, psychotherapy, calculation of calories, and stimulation of metabolism.
Let's look at calculation of calories, because one of the things I found would be a challenge would be every single time you put food on your plate, how do you know how many calories it is?
We do it very easily. To count calories, it can be very difficult, it can be very easy. So we have a technique which person is using to know how many calories he's taken.
Okay.
So that one is sorted out, and this must be done by everyone who is losing weight.
How do you calculate?
Oh, it is 1 hour session to start explaining.
Oh, you need to...
It is something to explain, to show the grammar, to give calorie grammar, how many calories in different food. So all this person should know.
So that's a lesson that one needs to go through just to know how to
yeah,
calculate.
one consultation and person already know how to count calories easily.
Regardless of which food you're cooking, because you see, you have what you buy in the supermarkets, which sometimes has it tells you how many calories it is, but you may cook potatoes or ugali or traditional, greens.
It is very easy. If you don't know it, it might be looking for you very difficult, but really it is done very easily.
Okay.
And the calculation of calories we need to do for all patients who are losing weight with us. If it is non-surgical method, if it is medical weight loss, patient is given diary, and he is recording all food which he is eating, and we see how many calories he's taken. Calculation of calories is quite important, because when you are not doing it, when you are on dieting, or you decide not to eat at all, you may take maybe 300 calories. It is less than in the prison. So can person be healthy if he is not eating? He's not taking care of his food, even on his energy intake. So calculation of calories will give us information about that, how person is supplying his body with energy. And so everyone should do it, and everyone should be educated in that, how many calories in which food. So that one is really sorted out. That is not the biggest problem in obesity treatment.
Okay.
Then each patient have to go through psychotherapy. Even if person is going through medical weight loss with smaller excessive weight, or if person is going through surgical weight loss, still all people have to go through psychotherapeutic work. So we need to work on food addiction, food temptation, because
craving?
this is all very most important factors to deal with, and most difficult factors to deal with.
Okay.
Food addiction, this obesity issue, this fat problem, it's in people's mind. You are not supposed to eat, we can say, chips. You know this is very high calorie, but more you are thinking you are not supposed to eat it, it is bad for your health. Chips, sweets, cakes, more you think about it, more you feel like to eat it, because it's recorded in our subconscious mind.
So you erase that recording, in a way to speak.
Yeah, we have to work on this record in your subconscious mind.
I didn't realize weight loss is something that I would need to see a psychiatrist. Do you see a psychiatrist?
No, I'm the one who does psychotherapy.
Okay.
We have a special psychotherapeutic sessions which were set by Associated Professor Varaksin in Ukraine. He worked on obesity psychological problems for over 7 years. So huge scientific studies were done on this subconscious mind setting on overeating. So he is a psychotherapist, and he's quite strong psychotherapist, and he's the one who set the psychotherapeutic sessions for obesity.
Okay, so in short,
and that is what we are using on all our patients.
Right,
And
so you reverse the psychological aspect of food craving,
very much.
addiction.
Yeah, we reverse it in a very nice, comfortable and happy way. As a person is going through psychotherapy, he is looking already at obesity with absolutely different eyes.
Perspective.
Yeah, with different thoughts. He's thinking differently.
And how
all is the same, remaining the same. Social life, everything is work, everything the same. But he is looking at his health and at his obesity, at his food.
Okay, and how long does this process take? And before you answer that question, I'll just remind our viewers at home, with me is Ludmila Shukina, and we're talking about weight loss. We'll be getting into the surgery side of it, and what the effects may be, and what the procedure is, and whether this is for anybody and everybody who feels they're overweight, if there is a procedure to identify if you qualify for that or not. And in case you have a question that you'd like to ask, feel free. The Twitter handle is at Michael G. Gitonga. That's at Michael G. Gitonga. If you'd like to tweet your question, or you can also call us live in the studio, and we'll be more than happy to see whether we can answer your question. A quick reminder, Ludmila Shukina is who I'm talking to this morning, and she's a medical doctor in East Africa Bariatric Clinic and Holistic Living Farm. Of course, obesity is a huge problem that brings about other complications. She's talked about diabetes, high blood pressure. You also have cardiovascular issues that come up with these issues. So now coming up is, do let me know if you have any questions. Feel free to call, or you can also tweet, and that's at Michael G. Gitonga. Now talking about once you've identified you have this issue, how long does this process take of reversing the psyche of food addiction, as you mentioned it?
Psychotherapy we need to do for about 3 months. We have 12 sessions in the clinic, and then a patient is getting audio CD, psychotherapeutic CDs, which person is listening at home by himself, 6 to 9 months. So this is the process. It's not happening in one day, because now what we do, we are changing eating habit. What is habit? If child is getting bad habit, like sucking finger, you can imagine how difficult to stop it. Obesity issue is also more or less the same. It is wrong eating habit. So person is getting wrong habit. To change this habit is not possible with one consultation, or with one tablet, or with exercises. It is much more
process.
Complicated, yeah. And to change habit, you need minimum 3 months. So 3 months person is just listening audio CD. But it is even not all. Our statistic is showing that if person need to lose like 15 to 20 kilos, with a psychotherapy calculation of calories, we are getting very good result. But when person is in morbid obesity, like, or even in class 1 obesity, person is losing 10, 15 kilos, and weight is becoming like frozen. It's not moving.
Yes, after that you plateau,
and then
it
is
go down.
So difficult,
to go
almost
lower.
not possible. It is that what made us to think about introducing bariatric surgery in Kenya. Bariatric surgery is used in the world already for many years. Scandinavian countries are using different types of bariatric surgery for more than 20 years. It's already accepted in the society. America 30 years. In Kenya now we are using bariatric surgery also because this problem already touched Kenya very seriously.
So what is bariatric surgery?
Bariatric surgery, it is weight loss surgery, which is assisting people to lose weight more effectively than other methods. So bariatric surgery is giving us 20 to 30 kilos of weight loss over 2-3 months.
Is that healthy? To lose that number of
very much healthy.
Okay.
If a person is losing 5 to 10 kilograms per month, that is excellent. I'm not saying 30 kilograms per month. I'm saying 30 kilograms over 3 months.
And that's if you need to lose that much.
But also it depends on that, what is the initial weight. More extra weight patient has, faster he is losing.
Okay.
More kilos per month he is losing.
Okay, before we move from that, I want to fully understand bariatric surgery, because surgery, as many of us laymen would understand it, is there's cutting that is involved. So are you cutting off weight off me, or what?
No.
When you say bariatric surgery, what exactly happens?
Bariatric surgery usually done laparoscopically. There are two types of bariatric surgery. We have minimally invasive and invasive. Minimally invasive surgery, this is gastric band and gastric balloon. Gastric balloon is just inserted into the stomach, and we are leaving a balloon in the stomach, and this balloon is taking space, so with a smaller amount of food, person is feeling more satisfied. So it is giving us feeling of fullness, that person is not hungry.
What is this balloon made of?
This is silicone balloon.
Okay.
Allergan company is producing it. It's American scientists discovered this type of treatment. So gastric balloon is helping us to deal with overeating, to feel more full with a small amount of food.
Just so that I understand fully, this balloon, you take it and put it in the stomach.
Endoscopically.
Endoscopically.
Yeah. So there is no surgery.
Yes, it takes a certain amount of space which otherwise you'd fill with food.
That's the thing.
Okay. So now you put the balloon, and suddenly my hunger pangs are reduced, or is it the portions that are reduced?
Portions are reduced, and also yeah, you are not feeling that much hungry as you were feeling before.
Okay.
So gastric balloon we can put from BMI 27. So gastric balloon can be as a support to psychotherapy and counting calories. Gastric balloon can be as a stepping stone to bariatric surgery. For example, if you have serious patient with diabetes and with high blood pressure, and his weight maybe 100 kilos, and person is not fit for, we can say, gastric bypass, we can put gastric balloon, person will lose 10-15 kilos, and then it is easier for person to go through other bariatric procedures.
Okay.
So that is gastric balloon. We are using also gastric bypass, gastric band. Gastric band, it is also minimally invasive surgery where there is no cut on the digestive system. Laparoscopically, surgeon puts small instrument under the computer inside the stomach, and he put band around the stomach. So this band like tie in the stomach. So if before you were to eat amount of food which will fill all your stomach, now you will feel only that amount of food which is above the band. So smaller amount of food.
So you put it at the bottom end of the
we put it on the bottom. This is quite simple procedure, almost no complications. We can put band today, tomorrow you are going home. Even today patient can go home because there is no surgery, no cut.
What about the balloon? Is it also something that is
balloon
done
is endoscopical.
But is it quick surgery that you go home the same day?
Yeah, it is just 15 minutes procedure, and under light anesthesia for about 15-20 minutes, and after 1-2 hours patient can go home.
Okay, So you're talking about now the band.
So this is minimally invasive.
Okay.
Band and balloon, minimally invasive procedures, bariatric procedures.
Okay, so again what it does is it literally just reduces the size of the stomach.
Size of the stomach, reducing the amount of food which patient is eating at once, and giving feeling of satisfaction, eliminating feeling of hunger. At the same time, it has quite good psychological support.
Okay.
The patient make decision that he already make this step in fighting this serious problem. But practically, physically, we have a restriction of food.
Okay. Now, for these two, the balloon and the band, are they temporary measures which you remove later, or is it a permanent surgery?
that's for sure. Balloon we are removing after 6 months, and band can be removed after 3 years. So band is giving us stronger support in weight maintenance, because our main target is weight loss and maintenance. That is the most difficult part in treatment of obesity, not just weight loss. We need to lose weight and to maintain weight for all life, minimum 3 to 5 years. If person is losing weight up to ideal weight, we are not just saying if person 120 kilos and he lost 20 kilos, he succeeded. No. If he is 120 and he should be 70 kilos, his target should be 70 kilos. Even if he lost 5, 20, it's good. But it is not enough. He may still have diabetes, high blood pressure, and all those complications of obesity. So our target should be ideal weight. If person is losing weight up to ideal weight with any method, with bariatric surgery or medical weight loss, and maintaining this result for 3 to 5 years, then we can say, yes, we want obesity. Before that, it's too early to say.
Now, with the balloon, how long does it take? You say it takes, what, 6 months?
6 months.
After the 6 months, isn't there a chance of relapse back to obesity?
Yes, there is a chance if patient does not go through psychotherapy.
Okay, so now
it is combination of different approaches we have to use, where we use on psychological factors, on metabolic, on social factors. So we need to address all different factors in obesity, which are leading to obesity.
Okay. Now there's a question here from George Waroi via Twitter, and he's asking, is colon cleansing the first step to weight loss? Colon cleansing.
Colon cleansing. We do irrigation of the digestive system. Recently there was an article in Nairobian newspaper. You've not seen it, no?
I saw it.
Many people. You've seen it also?
I saw it, yes.
Yeah, so we don't do colon irrigation, we do oral irrigation in our clinic. Irrigation of the digestive system we are using for elimination toxins and allergens from the body through digestive system.
And this is done orally?
Orally. We used to do before colon irrigation. When we are irrigating through the rectum, we are pushing water inside the colon, and we do like wash out of large intestine. With oral irrigation, we are able to wash out
the whole system,
whole digestive system. So this is much more beneficial. Here we don't use any machine. But
is there a machine used for that, or do I just drink water and
no. Now we don't use machine. Before we used to use machine, but oral irrigation is much more effective, much easier for the patient. It is just physiological procedure because fluid is moving the way how food is moving. So oral irrigation we are using for elimination of toxins and allergens from the body, but not for weight loss. All my patients who are going through weight loss program, they are doing irrigation because it is healthy. But it is not that what is going to
make you lose weight.
To reduce your subcutaneous fat, visceral fat, fat which is surrounding your heart, liver, kidneys, bowel, uterus.
What's the procedure for that oral irrigation? Because you see, in my layman's mind, either I'm drinking water, maybe for 3 days without eating, and that helps, or there's a machine that is being used to pump water through the system.
So I used to practice 2 types of irrigation of the digestive system. Colon irrigation, which we are pushing water with a machine through the rectum.
Through the rectum.
This one we don't use anymore, and we don't use it at the health farm where I used to work. Now mostly we are using oral irrigation, where a person is drinking physiological solution, physiological saline solution, solution which is containing different electrolytes. And concentration of those electrolytes is the same as concentration of electrolytes in our blood. So it means this solution which you are drinking is not absorbed in digestive system. And also it's not sucking electrolytes from your body. So it's like passing through, fluid is passing like through the pipe without being interfering with the body fluid. So it's mechanical cleaning. That is all. It's very effective when person has constipation. It's the most effective procedure.
How long does that procedure take?
If person has very important allergy, allergy is curing so nicely after, because in many cases, very often allergens and toxins are accumulating in the body, and it is leading to those allergic reactions. Some patients after one procedure allergy is gone. But it's very important to know this is not for weight loss. Irrigation of the digestive system cannot remove that fat which is accumulated in vessels, those atherosclerotic plaques. So this is a very healthy procedure, but not
it's
for
more
weight loss.
To clean your system from toxins and allergens. All right, how long does that procedure take?
Around 3 hours.
About 3 hours, and you go home.
It's very simple.
It's literally just drinking, like you said, the saline solution, and then after that you leave.
And then all day vegetables person have to eat to continue eliminating toxins through the digestive
Are there
system.
particular vegetables that one has
Just
to
vegetables.
eat? Just vegetables. You at the clinic you get the list and...
Very much, it's easy. We are advising what patient have to eat.
When it comes to vegetables, before we go back to the bariatric surgery, when it comes to vegetable, is there a way you're supposed to consume them? I've read articles where they say you should consume them raw, others you should steam. I know traditionally we cook them until they're fully cooked. Is there a way, a good way, to eat vegetables to get the full benefit?
We should eat fresh vegetables and cooked vegetables. Preferably cooked without long cooking, but still cooked vegetables must be there. And regarding vegetables, what may be important message I may send, that people need to eat maybe 80 to 800 or 1,000 grams of vegetables every day. Not just 1 spoon of sukuma wiki. It should be about 1 kilo of vegetables.
Wow,
per day. Do you eat this much?
Not a kilo, definitely not a kilo. I can talk about a kilo of meat, but a kilo of vegetables, that's a different thing altogether. Let's go back to...
you can see a problem.
Let's go back to bariatric surgery. You've talked about the balloon, which is put into the stomach, then you have the band. Are there other forms of bariatric surgery?
Mostly now we are using gastric sleeve resection. Most preferred procedure here in Nairobi, which patients are preferring and doctors are preferring, gastric sleeve resection, where laparoscopically the surgeon is reducing size of the stomach permanently. So because with the band it is...
So this is now surgical,
it is surgical. It is invasive surgery.
Invasive.
But results are excellent. But this gastric sleeve resection will give us 30 kilos weight loss, 40 kilos weight loss, even 50 kilos. Do you know any method which can give us 50 kilos weight loss?
No, unless you're sick.
Unless you're sick. But healthy method?
No, I don't.
So that is the beauty of bariatric surgery. Patient can lose 30, 40, 50, even 70 kilos of his excessive weight. If person has 90 kilos, he needs to be 60 kilos, 30 kilos. He can easily, comfortably, happily lose with bariatric surgery. Of course, bariatric surgery will go with psychotherapy. So we are giving priority now to gastric sleeve resection. Most of the patients are succeeding very well with gastric sleeve resection, and procedure is done laparoscopically. Procedure is quite safe. Complications are almost not there. You can imagine, patient is admitted today, Nairobi Hospital or Gahan Hospital or any hospital which has a laparoscopic equipment, and tomorrow patient is going home. You may ask how patient is feeling. Very happy. Does not feel, he's feeling, no, he doesn't feel any pain because surgery is laparoscopic. It is not, there is no much damage, there is no open cut. They are just going with a small instrument inside, and they are reducing size of the stomach. They are making stomach small.
Do they do that by sewing on it, or do
But
they
there is
chop it?
special titanic clips which they put on the stomach, and all this done in a very aseptic condition with a minimal damage on the tissue. And that is what is explained, and that the patient is feeling very comfortable. Recently we had 22 years old, very beautiful girl, 120 kilos. She came for gastric balloon because her friend did gastric balloon, and she said she wants only gastric balloon. Then our surgeon checked her, and he said, look, this is morbid obesity. Her BMI was about 40 and above.
Almost, heading to super obesity.
Yeah, so she was advised to do gastric sleeve resection. She did not think twice. She decided immediately to go for it, because she's seen also other patients who did the gastric sleeve resection here with us in Kenya. So she made very easy decision. In few days, she went for surgery. Before that, we've done medical checkup, or lab tests should be done to make sure that we know what is the patient's condition. If, for example, today bariatric surgery is done for this girl, I seen her next day. She was very happy, really happy, enjoying her decision. She did not feel any pain. A little bit discomfort person can feel, because when laparoscopic surgery is done, surgeon need to push some air inside. So this air can press a little bit on different nerves there. So a little bit discomfort. But otherwise, immediately you walk,
go back
and
to
the same, second day you go home. So that is how also even surgeon is comfortable to discharge patient next day. So that's how technique is now. After bypass, we have also gastric bypass, also second day, maybe third day, patient can go home.
Can go home. So this is now done by way, like you mentioned, of putting certain clips that hold and reduce again the size of the stomach.
Yeah.
Is this a permanent thing as
this
well?
This is permanent.
It's permanent
thing, because here permanently we are reducing size of the stomach. If also it's quite often that obese patients are having expanded stomach. So to have feeling of satisfaction, you need to eat a lot. And stomach expanded due to that previous lifestyle which patient has. It means that person was overeaten very often. So then stomach is expanded. So stomach really doesn't have, it's not normal size of the stomach. So then doctor is making stomach of your stomach just a normal size. You are becoming like healthy person. And you are eating as a healthy person.
Is it possible to reduce your stomach without necessarily having these clips or the bands done or the balloon?
No.
So if you're overeating, does that mean you're permanently sentenced to overeating for life?
Most probably.
Okay. So
because your stomach is expanded, and also eating habit, subconscious eating settings. So all those factors.
Now, once this bariatric surgery is done, particularly the one that we've talked about, the third one, it sounds almost like too good to be true. In that, if I am used to eating A, B, C, D, E, F, G, is that going to stop me from eating what I've been eating once I've gone through the surgery? All I've reduced is my portions, but I may still enjoy, high-calorie foods, which maybe I have acquired a taste for.
For that reason, you need a psychotherapy, a specialized psychotherapy which was developed by specialists who are working on obesity issue. But maybe I can show you one example. I have a patient, around 59 years old. I worked with him he is one of my first patients, I can say.
In Kenya?
Yes, in Kenya. We started with him maybe 17 years ago with medical weight loss. Before that, he tried food supplements, exercises, dieting, everything. Nothing was working. He used to be on antihypertensive medication. High blood pressure was what was bothering him all the time. And we were thinking how to treat this high blood pressure. We can say 17 years, 20 years ago, he was quite young. Still he was on high blood pressure medication. Legs were swollen. And it was very clear, if person will lose 20, 25 kilos, he will recover from from high blood pressure. All this time he could not lose his weight. He went through medical weight loss, where we worked with psychotherapy. He was 115. He lost up to 90 kilos. From 90 kilos he could not lose to 78. For past maybe 10, 12 years. This is long story with this patient. And one option he had, only bariatric surgery. So finally he decided. Unfortunately it took too long time for him to decide. You can imagine if he would do this treatment earlier, complications would be less. Like if you see a person has diabetes and he is not losing his weight for 20 years, he is developing a lot of complications. But if he would lose weight as soon as possible, then he will recover from diabetes.
Okay. So how much did he lose in total?
In total, he done bariatric surgery 3 months ago. First month he lost 12.
Case,
Just now. First month he lost 12 kilos. Second month he lost 5 kilos. Third month he lost another 5 kilos. So 22 kilos he lost.
Wow.
Now he's out of blood pressure medication. It works like miracle. And you can imagine how much headache and how much struggle we had with this patient. And it is matching with that what we have in the recommendation of Swedish scientists. So Swedish scientists recommended early treatment of obesity should be considered in morbidly obese patients.
Okay.
So if person is very important here, if person is not able to lose his weight for 6 months, because you may think, for how long am I supposed to try exercises, diet, and how long should I take tablets before I consider bariatric surgery? First of all, if you have diabetes and extra weight, if you have high blood pressure and extra weight, or if your body mass index 40 and above, here you should think about bariatric surgery. You can take another option. You can try, that's the recommendation of Swedish scientists, you can try to lose your weight for 6 months, but not 20 years. Try 6 months. You see, if you are succeeding well
and good,
excellent, we are very happy. If you are not able to lose weight, then
consider
that this is not working, and accept this method. All those methods are not working for you.
Okay.
So you have to think about next step in your treatment.
Okay. I want us to go to the questions, and a quick reminder, we'll display the phone lines on our screen in case you have any questions that you'd like to pose out to Ludmila Shukina, who is a doctor, and we're talking about bariatric surgery, which is surgery of reducing, if I would use the layman's term, reducing the stomach. And there's a question here: are there any side effects of this kind of surgery?
Side effects with this technique, which now we have, is minimal. In Kenya we are using Swedish technique and Israeli. That is where our surgeon worked. And we are using the latest technique. We did not have major complications. Complications, as any surgery, it may happen some, but it's much less than, we can say, appendectomy. After person is going through removal of appendix, there are chances to have some complications. But chances are
very low. But what
minimal.
about side effects? What about things that you may now develop because of this kind of surgery that you had not developed otherwise, other than weight loss?
With the gastric sleeve resection, minimal side effect in long run.
And what are those side effects?
Because it's almost no. after stomach is healed, now it's just healthy. You're just healthy. In about 2 weeks, maximum 1 month, you will start eating normal food. With a gastric band, it can be like a slippage. If person, for example, continuing eating and vomiting often, which also very rarely happens, when person is continuously vomiting, band can move down. So that's the problem. But for that reason, patient need follow-up. Patient cannot go to do it in India or in Europe and to come here without being checked. Patient should be checked every month. Very, very important for those people to have a proper follow-up, like once a month. I'm advising my patients who went through bariatric surgery to come every month for checkup. So then we know how patient is doing, we know how patient is taking care of his health, we know what is the progress, and we are correcting. If there are any problem, we are correcting it immediately.
You can correct that. Okay.
Not like if person is doing surgery in Dubai, and then coming here to Kenya, and he does not see any doctor, he does not do any follow-up. Follow-up is very important, part, and psychotherapy.
Okay, there's a question here from Catherine Kagwe, and she's asking, what about the, depending again on the severity of your obesity, what about the excess skin? Because you've seen people who've lost a lot of weight, and then you have, you know, like skin that's hanging, and I think on the stomach. What happens with that skin?
When the person is losing weight with a speed of 5 to 10 kilograms per month, skin is slowly shrinking and adapting to the new size of the body. And that is again, we are coming to follow up to that, how patient is taking care of his food. When person is writing his diary, we see that all nutrients are there. So skin is looking even better, and in most cases, we don't have any complications on skin, but this we have to know, and we have to be concerned. If we have patients with 200 kilos, we can say, or 150 kilos, so then skin is already overstretched, and collagen fibers already like torn. It's damaged permanently. But if person has 100, 120 kilos, they are losing weight quite nicely without any stretch marks on the skin. You can see pictures of our patients in our website. You can see how they look.
Okay, we'll take a look at that. How long has this bariatric surgery been done? Has it been given the test of time? How long has it been done?
In the world?
In the world, yes.
Oh, in the world, bariatric surgery is known for maybe 30 years. America is using bariatric surgery for about 30 years. Scandinavian country, like recently our surgeon was in Sweden, about 20 years. So it is a common treatment of obesity. People are fighting obesity a lot. People have to fight obesity as a disease. Recent studies of Swedish scientists are showing that diabetes was a result in almost 90% of all diabetic patients after successful weight loss with bariatric surgery. So you can imagine 90% of diabetes is resolved, because most of diabetic patients, they have extra weight.
It's a cause of, or it makes the effects more rapid. Of course, there is the question of cost, because I'm sure all this comes at a cost.
No, really, it's not really question of cost much, because if you will look at the cost of
your health,
of that, how much patient will spend on his diabetic medications, on his insulin, you can imagine how much patient is spending, lady is spending, if she has infertility. Infertility is very common here now in Kenya. Because of what? Because ladies are putting on weight. obese lady has very high chance to have pregnancy complications. If you are looking, even recently we were talking with one doctor, she said that one patient was prescribed, he is a doctor of insurance company, so patient was prescribed this machine, sleeping machine for obstructive sleep apnea. When person is snoring at night.
Right.
So this machine is costing something like 450,000 only for obstructive sleep apnea. It was prescribed by ENT. Obstructive sleep apnea, it is complication of obesity.
Which can be sorted out.
After a person is losing weight, he does not need the sleeping machine. And who can afford sleeping machine? And even if you will put sleeping machine, what will help you? Your heart is still overloaded. Still you are under risk to have heart attack, high cholesterol, diabetes. So really this is not a main concern.
All right, there is Sam who's asking a question, and he says, once the bariatric surgery is done, how does that deal with my ability, my quantity eating, if I still eat a lot? In short, I think what he's trying to understand is, what if I still continue eating the same quantity, despite the fact that
you will not be able to eat the same quantity, because you will eat certain amount of food and you will become very satisfied. You don't want anymore. Not just forcefully or what. You just don't want anymore. It's not that you are forcing you are forcing yourself not to eat more. You just don't want, because your stomach has a normal size. Certain amount of food you are getting, signal is going to the brain, and your brain is getting signal, I'm satisfied.
I guess, even naturally.
It's really like a miracle.
I guess naturally when you stop eating, it's because your brain has been given the signal that you're full.
You need to get the signal that
yes,
you are full.
How true is it
I'm
that,
observing those patients, I'm really enjoying seeing it.
The signal coming up. How true is it that the communication from your stomach to your brain takes 20 minutes? As a result, you find people who overeat and only realize you've overeaten because the signal took long to get to your brain to say that's enough.
Really, this signal is, this message brain is getting immediately. That is, but into addition to that, psychotherapy is very important to work on this subconscious mind setting, because all this record, even if now you are comfortable, you've done gastric sleeve and you've eaten some food, normal amount of food, and you feel satisfied, still this record about food which you used to, it is still there. So sooner or later it will come up. So that is why very important to work on those factors. Psychotherapy is very beautiful. People are feeling it's very positive. It's very joyful. People are enjoying psychotherapy of obesity, but at the same time it is very strong psychological influence on those subconscious mindset.
Okay. Well, Lyudmila Shukina, thank you very much. I think you've given us a lot of insight and a lot of information right there. How does one get in touch with you? Maybe you can give us your website, where you are, so that if somebody wants to follow this up, how do they do that? Because I'm sure there's certain things you'd need to test on them before you now advise on what they need to do.
Yeah, before a patient is deciding to work on his weight, we have to come to the clinic where we will do all checkups, and then we will be able to recommend which method is advisable for each particular case. Our website is holisticlivingfarm.com, and we are in 5th Avenue Office Suite, opposite Traffic Police Headquarters, on 7th floor. Maybe I can give my mobile number for people easily to get in touch.
Okay. Okay, very quickly, that's your camera right there.
0726 899240 or 271 3838. This is clinic number.
Okay. All right, thank you very much, Lyudmila Shukina, for wonderful information and letting us know that there is alternatives, especially to weight loss, because I know it's very frustrating for many. Those of you at home, thank you very much for keeping it Morning Express. This is where we wind it up today. Do join us tomorrow, Wednesday, where we're going to be having the newsroom. And remember, with the President Barack Obama in the country, there's definitely a lot that we'd like to look at on how our coverage was with President Barack Obama in the country. There was a hashtag that was going around, media failure, and we'll also be looking at that. So thank you so much for joining us this morning. We wish you all a fantastic and a wonderful day. For those of us on KTN News, do stand by for the 9 o'clock bulletin. For those of us on KTN Home, have yourselves a pleasant and a wonderful day. God bless.